Welcome back to the Expensive Coins History channel. In today's deep dive, we're going to explore one of the most intriguing and often misunderstood coins from recent American coinage, the 2011 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. You may have one of these pennies sitting in your pocket right now, but is it just a regular piece of loose change, or could it be worth far more than a single cent? We'll uncover the full story, the origin, design evolution, minting history, rarity, grading insights, and the true market value in 2025, all wrapped into one comprehensive breakdown. So let's begin this numismatic journey and find out if that humble little penny might just be worth a fortune. The journey of the Lincoln cent begins in the early 20th century. In 1909, to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the United States Mint introduced a brand new 1-cent coin featuring Lincoln's bust on the obverse. It was the first time a real historical figure appeared on regular U.S. currency. Over the next century, the reverse of the Lincoln cent underwent several changes, from the original wheat ears design to the Lincoln Memorial introduced in 1959, and finally, in 2010, the debut of the Union Shield design. This transition was part of a broader initiative to modernize the look of circulating U.S. coins while still honoring the legacy of President Abraham Lincoln. The 2011 penny, part of the new Shield series, became the second year this design was used in circulation. On the obverse, we see a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln. The details in his hair, cheekbones, and suit are finely sculpted. Above him are the words, "In God We Trust," with "Liberty" to the left and the date 2011 on the right. Just below the date, where we might usually expect to see a mint mark, this particular version has none, indicating it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. On the reverse, we see a bold and powerful image of a Union shield, symbolizing national unity and the preservation of the United States as a single, strong nation. The shield features 13 vertical stripes, representing the original 13 colonies, topped with a horizontal bar uniting them, symbolizing federal government strength. At the top, the words "United States of America" curve across the edge, while the denomination, 1 cent, is prominently displayed across the center of the shield. Just below that, the motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one, sits elegantly between the stripes and the bar. The overall aesthetic is clean, dignified, and deeply rooted in American symbolism. The 2011 Lincoln penny with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The absence of a mint mark does not indicate an error. Rather, it follows standard U.S. mint practices. Traditionally, coins produced in Philadelphia are left unmarked, whereas Denver uses a D and San Francisco uses an S for proof coins. In 2011, the Philadelphia Mint produced a massive number of these coins, in the billions. The sheer volume of these coins in circulation means most 2011 no-mint mark pennies you'll come across are extremely common. However, as we'll explore, condition, errors, and grading can drastically alter the value. Understanding the composition of this coin is crucial. The 2011 Lincoln cent is made primarily of zinc, with a thin outer coating of copper. The total composition is approximately 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, which gives the coin its traditional copper color while keeping production costs low. The coin weighs 2.5 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and features a plain, smooth edge. This composition has been in place since 1982, when the mint transitioned from solid copper cents due to rising metal costs. Now, let's get to the heart of what determines value. Grading. Grading refers to the condition of a coin, and it is assessed using the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A coin graded at MS 60 or above is considered mint state, meaning it has not entered circulation and shows no wear. Here's a breakdown of what matters. MS60, MS63, these coins are uncirculated but may have noticeable contact marks or dull luster. MS64, MS65, coins in this range are above average, with better luster and fewer marks. MS66, MS67, high-grade coins with strong visual appeal, minimal flaws, and excellent strike. MS68, MS70, rarely found, these coins are nearly perfect and command premium prices. In 2025, a 2011 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in average circulated condition is worth exactly 1 cent. However, high-grade uncirculated examples, particularly those graded MS67 or MS68 red, can be worth dozens, even hundreds of dollars, depending on eye appeal and market demand. The color designation also affects value. Red, RD brilliant original copper color, highest value. Red-brown, RB some fading, mid-tier value, brown, BN fully toned. Lowest premium point. One of the most exciting parts of coin collecting is discovering error coins. Though not common, some 2011 no-mint mark pennies have been discovered with striking errors, including double dies, where parts of the design appear doubled, especially on letters and numbers. Off-center strikes, where the coin is misaligned during minting. Clipped planchets, where part of the coin is missing due to a miscut. Blank die cracks or cuds, where a damaged die creates a raised lump or line on the coin. These types of errors, especially when dramatic and well-centered, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on severity and demand. Collectors actively seek these unusual variants, and having one authenticated by a professional service can greatly increase its resale value. Let's now look at realistic market values in the year 2025. Circulated condition. In pocket-worn condition, the 2011 no-mint mark penny is worth its face value, $0.01. Uncirculated MS60, MS63, values range from 10 cents to $1, depending on eye appeal. MS64, MS65 red, coins can sell between $2 to $10. MS66 red, these coins are scarcer and can bring $20 to $50. MS67 red, now we enter the collector's market. Prices may reach $100 to $250, especially at auction. MS68 red and error varieties, these are the cream of the crop, coins in this condition with strong luster, zero contact marks, and dramatic color can command $500 or more. Certified major errors, depending on the type and clarity of the error, these may range from $200 to over $1,000. Coins that are graded and slabbed by top-tier grading companies hold significantly higher value and buyer confidence. So, you may be wondering, how do I know if my 2011 penny is worth anything? Follow these steps. Check the date and mint mark. Ensure it is a 2011 penny with no mint mark. Examine the condition. If the coin has scratches, dull surfaces, or signs of wear, it's likely only worth 1 cent. Look for luster and color. If it shines with a bright red hue and has no wear, it could be uncirculated. Inspect for errors. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling, off-center strikes, or abnormalities. Weigh the coin. Anomalies in weight could signal a striking error or a different planchet. Compare to graded coins. Look at examples of high-grade coins online or in collector forums to compare your specimen. Consider certification. If your coin appears flawless or has an error, send it to a professional grading service. While the 2011 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is extremely common in circulation, not all of them are created equal. Most are worth only 1 cent, but certain specimens, especially those in pristine uncirculated condition, or those with dramatic mint errors, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and treasures can be found in the most ordinary places, sometimes even in your own pocket. The key is knowing what to look for, understanding condition and grading, and keeping a sharp eye out for anything unusual. If you come across a 2011 no-mint mark penny that looks perfect or features a striking error, it might be worth far more than you think. We're turning our attention to a coin that you might think of as just a simple 5-cent piece, but actually carries layers of interest and value for collectors. The 2011 Jefferson Nickel. At first glance, it's just a nickel, right? 5 cents, Thomas Jefferson's portrait, Monticello on the back. But if you take a closer look, especially if you're a coin collector or numismatist, you'll realize there's more than meets the eye. From its production and design nuances to its rarity and how much it's worth today in 2025, we'll cover it all, so stay tuned, because this could change how you see that humble nickel in your pocket. To understand the significance of the 2011 Jefferson Nickel, we first need to take a step back in history. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American coinage since 1938, when it was first introduced to replace the Buffalo nickel. It was designed to honor the third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, one of the nation's founding fathers and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. The coin's original design featured Jefferson's portrait on the obverse side and his iconic home, Monticello, on the reverse. This design remained remarkably consistent for many decades, symbolizing stability and tradition. However, in the early 2000s, the U.S. Mint embarked on the Westward Journey Nickel series to commemorate the Lewis and Clark expedition, which temporarily changed the reverse design with a series of special motifs. By 2006, the Mint returned to the Monticello reverse but updated the obverse portrait with a modernized and more detailed depiction of Jefferson. This modern portrait, which is featured on the 2011 nickel, was designed to present a more lifelike and three-dimensional image of Jefferson, offering collectors and everyday users a fresh take on a classic. The D Mint mark on the 2011 Jefferson nickel signifies that it was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the two primary facilities responsible for striking nickels in the United States. That year, the Denver Mint struck over 540 million nickels, an impressive figure reflecting both the coin's ongoing demand and the continuous circulation needs of the U.S. economy. Now that we have historical context, let's explore the coin's physical and artistic characteristics. The 2011 Jefferson nickel is composed of a copper nickel clad, weighing approximately 5 grams with a diameter just over 21 millimeters. The edge is plain, consistent with standard U.S. nickel design. The obverse features the updated portrait of Jefferson, facing left, with clear, sharp lines emphasizing his facial features and hair. The inscriptions include the word Liberty, the motto, "In God We Trust," the year of minting, and the Denver Mint mark D. On the reverse side, the design returns to the familiar image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate. What makes the 2011 nickel particularly interesting to collectors is the level of detail on Monticello's steps. Collectors pay close attention to these steps, as a full steps designation means the coin displays 5 or more distinct and fully struck steps on Monticello's front facade. This feature is a key indicator of strike quality and rarity. Coins that show these full steps are highly sought after because the striking process often results in weaker or incomplete detail on this part of the coin. The presence of full steps indicates a strong strike and exceptional preservation, qualities that elevate the coin's desirability and value among collectors. Despite the vast number of 2011 nickels produced, their value isn't simply about how many were made. Rarity in numismatics is a multifaceted concept. For the 2011 Jefferson nickel, rarity primarily depends on condition, strike quality, and whether the coin exhibits those prized full steps. Most 2011 nickels found in circulation are heavily worn and show little detail on Monticello's steps, making them common and of minimal collector value beyond face value. However, coins that have been carefully preserved, especially those graded as mint state, are significantly rarer. Mint state coins are those that have not been circulated and exhibit no wear from handling or everyday use. Within mint state, the grading scale ranges from MS60 to MS70, with higher numbers reflecting superior condition, luster, strike, and eye appeal. Among mint state examples, those graded MS65 and above with full steps are relatively scarce. Even more elusive are coins graded MS67 or higher, which boast nearly flawless surfaces and striking details. The market for such coins is driven by collectors who seek perfection and the pride of owning a rare, high-quality specimen. It is also worth noting that some collectors specialize in varieties and error coins. While the 2011 nickel does not have widely known major errors or varieties, slight die variations or minor strike anomalies can add collectible interest in niche circles. Let's talk numbers, which is the part many viewers will be eager to hear about. What is the 2011 Jefferson nickel worth today in 2025? In average circulated condition, the coin is worth its face value of 5 cents. These coins are plentiful, and despite the nominal face value, they hold no significant collector premium. However, when the condition improves, so does the value. At the lower end of the mint state scale, around MS60 to MS64, the 2011 nickel might sell for a few dollars, generally in the range of $4 to $8. These coins display no wear and have reasonable luster but may not have the sharpest strikes or eye appeal. Moving into mid-mint state grades like MS65 and MS66, prices begin to rise, often reaching between $10 and $25. At this level, collectors are looking for coins with better strike detail and fewer contact marks. The full steps attribute becomes more significant here, with coins possessing it commanding a premium. High-grade mint state coins, such as MS67 and above, with full steps and exceptional eye appeal, can sell for $30 up to $100 or more. The exact price depends on the coin's luster, strike sharpness, and the current demand within the collector community. Exceptional specimens graded MS68 or higher are much rarer and can command prices that exceed $100, occasionally reaching several $100s if the coin exhibits pristine surfaces and is certified by a reputable grading service. It's important to note that market values fluctuate with collector interest, economic factors, and the coin market's overall trends. Certification by professional grading services adds a layer of assurance and often increases the coin's marketability and price. If you're interested in adding a 2011 Jefferson nickel to your collection or investment portfolio, here are some tips to keep in mind. First, always examine the coin's condition closely. Look for sharp details on Monticello, especially the steps, and assess the coin's overall luster and surface quality. Avoid coins that show obvious scratches, discoloration, or signs of cleaning, as these factors detract from value. Consider purchasing coins that have been professionally graded by recognized agencies. A certification gives you confidence in the coin's grade and authenticity, making resale easier and often more profitable. If you're searching through circulation coins, be patient. While the vast majority will be common and low value, occasionally you might find a gem with full steps or a near-mint state example. Finally, keep an eye on market trends and auction results. Prices can rise and fall depending on collector enthusiasm, so buying at the right time and from reputable dealers can make a significant difference. The 2011 Jefferson nickel may seem like a simple coin to many, but for collectors, it represents a fascinating intersection of history, art, and rarity. While common in circulation, high-quality specimens with full steps and superior strikes are rare and command a premium in today's market. Whether you're a casual collector curious about the coin in your pocket or a seasoned numismatist looking to expand your collection, understanding the nuances of the 2011 Jefferson nickel will serve you well. The 2014 Lincoln Shield Cent. While most people see a penny and think, just 1 cent, we're about to uncover a much bigger story. A story of history, design evolution, minting precision, collector obsession, and yes, hidden value. So sit tight as we dive deep into the fascinating world of the 2014 Lincoln Penny, and by the end of this video, you might want to start looking through your change jar a little more carefully. To truly appreciate any coin, especially one as iconic as the Lincoln cent, we have to go back in time. The Lincoln penny has been a cornerstone of U.S. coinage since 1909. It was the first regularly circulating American coin to feature a real historical figure, and that figure was none other than the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. Originally introduced to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth, the obverse design has remained remarkably consistent for over a century. While the reverse has changed several times, from the wheat ears design to the Lincoln Memorial, and then to the current Union Shield, Lincoln's profile has remained a steadfast symbol of American integrity and leadership. In 2010, the United States Mint officially introduced the shield reverse design as part of a modernization effort. The shield was meant to symbolize Lincoln's preservation of the Union during the Civil War, tying together both past and present into a simple but meaningful design. By 2014, the coin had already become a familiar sight, but the Denver Mint's 2014 penny would go on to intrigue collectors for years to come. On the obverse, you'll find the bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right. The design includes the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," across the top, "Liberty," on the left side, and the year, 2014, to the right. Just below the year is the mint mark D, indicating that the coin was minted in Denver. On the reverse, the shield design takes center stage. It features a large, central Union shield with vertical stripes and a horizontal bar across the top. The banner draped across the shield reads, "E pluribus unum," Latin for, out of many, one, reflecting the unification of the states. Across the top edge is the inscription, "United States of America," and across the bottom is, 1 cent. The coin is made from a copper-plated zinc composition. While older pennies were once struck from nearly pure copper, modern 1 cent coins consist of a zinc core with a thin copper coating. The diameter is 19.05 millimeters, and the weight is approximately 2.5 grams. Though its appearance may seem basic, the design execution of each element is critical to collectors. Sharpness of strike, clarity of the mint mark, and luster can all affect a coin's appeal and value. However, as any experienced numismatist will tell you, a coin's rarity is not only determined by how many were made, but also by how many survived in exceptional condition, and how many exhibit special characteristics such as errors or die varieties. Mass production often leads to minting anomalies, small imperfections caused during the striking process. And while the majority of 2014 pennies are very ordinary, a select few have been found to feature striking errors or are graded so highly that they become valuable not just as currency, but as collectibles. It's this intersection of mintage size, condition scarcity, and collector demand that ultimately influences a coin's value. First, condition is key. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a flawless, mint-fresh specimen. A coin that grades MS66 or higher is generally considered high quality. MS means mint state, meaning the coin was never circulated and retains its original surfaces. Collectors pay a premium for these. Second, color and finish also matter. There are three main color designations for copper-plated coins: red, red-brown, and brown. A red coin is vibrant and fresh-looking, indicating it was well preserved and likely never handled. Brown coins, on the other hand, have oxidized and lost their bright copper luster. Third, errors and varieties. These are where things can get exciting. A double die obverse or reverse, where the design appears double due to a misalignment during minting, can significantly increase a coin's value. Off-center strikes, die cracks, and clipped planchets are also desirable, especially if they are prominent and easily visible to the naked eye. Fourth, proof-like qualities. Although proof coins are usually minted at San Francisco, occasionally a business strike coin from Denver or Philadelphia will display mirror-like surfaces or frosted devices. These proof-like or semi-proof-like coins, while rare, are highly sought after. For most circulated examples, the ones that have been in pockets, purses, and coin jars, the value is exactly 1 cent. There's no premium for heavy where, however, in uncirculated condition, the value increases. A 2014 D penny in MS60 to MS63 might fetch 5 to 10 cents, depending on luster and eye appeal. MS64 to MS65 coins could be worth between 25 cents to $1. Now, if you come across a certified MS66 example with bright red luster, you could be looking at a value of anywhere from $3 to $15, depending on market demand. MS67 examples, especially with strong strike and color, can go for $30 or more. The rarest of the rare, coins graded MS68 or higher, are extremely scarce and often sell at auction for $100 or more. The highest graded coins with full red designation and no visible flaws could reach values of several $100s, particularly if they are encapsulated and authenticated by reputable grading companies. In rare cases, coins with error features have sold for even more, upwards of $1,000 if the error is dramatic and unique enough to spark collector bidding wars. What is rare are those coins that have been perfectly preserved. Most coins enter circulation immediately after being struck, suffering dings, scratches, and discoloration almost instantly. Finding a coin that has been kept in mint-fresh condition for over a decade is becoming harder with each passing year. As more collectors begin to appreciate modern coinage, coins like the 2014 D penny, once dismissed as too new, are now entering collections, being graded, and sometimes fetching surprising prices. If you're a long-term collector or investor, high-grade modern coins offer a unique niche. They're relatively inexpensive to acquire in raw form, but they can appreciate in value as high-quality specimens become scarcer over time. So what should you do if you find a 2014 D penny in your pocket or coin jar? First, inspect it under a bright light. Look for strong color, the redder, the better. Check for any doubling in the lettering or numbers. Look closely at the edges and surfaces for any signs of striking errors. If it looks uncirculated or unusually sharp, consider having it professionally graded. At the very least, place it in a protective holder to preserve its condition. One coin today might be worth just a few cents, but 10 or 20 years from now, that same coin in pristine condition could fetch significantly more. The 2014 Lincoln Penny is a perfect example of how even the most common coins can hold hidden value, not just monetary, but historical and artistic. While most are still worth face value, high-grade examples and rare errors prove that sometimes, what looks like just a penny can be a true hidden treasure. The 2007 Jefferson Nickel. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector, an investor, or just a curious viewer who stumbles upon this coin in your pocket change, this video is designed to give you a comprehensive understanding of this seemingly ordinary nickel. We'll explore the rich history behind the Jefferson Nickel series, the significance of the 2007 mint mark issue, the factors that affect its rarity and worth, and what you should be looking for in 2025 to determine if your coin is just 5 cents or worth much more. To understand the 2007 nickel's place in numismatics, we must first take a quick journey back to the origins of the Jefferson nickel itself. First introduced in 1938, the Jefferson nickel was designed to replace the Buffalo nickel. Its iconic obverse features a profile portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence, while the reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia home. Over the decades, the nickel has undergone several design changes and special issues. However, the period around 2005 to 2007 marks a significant transitional phase. In 2004 and 2005, the U.S. Mint issued the Westward Journey series, which temporarily replaced the Monticello design on the reverse with other images celebrating westward expansion. Then in 2006, the Mint returned to a modified version of the Monticello reverse while also updating the obverse design to feature a forward-facing portrait of Jefferson, a departure from the traditional side profile that had been used for over 60 years. This new obverse was crafted by designer Jamie Franke, and it aimed to give a more contemporary and detailed rendering of Jefferson's likeness. The 2007 issue continued with this modernized design, maintaining the same composition and general characteristics, a copper-nickel alloy consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a diameter of approximately 21.21 millimeters, and a weight of 5 grams. When discussing any U.S. coin, the mint mark is critical as it identifies the facility where the coin was struck. The letter D on the 2007 nickel indicates that it was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the primary U.S. mint locations responsible for circulating coins. The 2007 Jefferson nickel was struck in massive numbers. With an estimated mintage surpassing 626 million pieces, it ranks among the most commonly found nickels of its year. This staggering production volume means that the 2007 is generally not considered rare in the traditional sense. Almost anyone can find these coins in circulation, banks, or coin rolls. However, while sheer quantity often dilutes value, numismatics is never that simple. The story of value is much more nuanced and depends heavily on condition, strike quality, and collector interest. Despite its enormous mintage, there are key factors that can distinguish an otherwise common nickel as a collectible and potentially valuable coin. The most important of these is condition or grade. Coins in circulation accumulate wear and tear. Handling, exposure to the environment, and time all degrade the sharpness of the coin's design and the brilliance of its surfaces. A worn coin is generally worth only face value or just a small premium at best. Conversely, coins that are in mint state, meaning they show no signs of wear and retain their original mint luster and sharp details, can be worth significantly more. Mint state grades range from MS60, indicating a coin that is uncirculated but with noticeable marks or flaws, up to MS70, which is a perfect coin with no flaws visible even under magnification. For the 2007 Jefferson Nickel, finding a specimen in MS65 or better is uncommon and begins to attract collector attention. High mint state coins are sought after because despite the huge production, very few survive in such pristine condition. Another critical feature collectors look for on Jefferson Nickels is the full steps designation. This term refers to the clarity and completeness of the horizontal steps on the reverse side of the coin that depict Monticello. When these steps are fully struck and sharply defined, the coin is said to have full steps. This attribute indicates a strong strike quality and is a sought-after characteristic, especially among collectors focused on modern nickels. Coins lacking full steps typically show blurred or incomplete step details, which can substantially lower their desirability and market price. Let's talk about what these coins are worth right now in 2025. The vast majority of 2007D nickels you encounter in everyday circulation are worth exactly 5 cents. These coins show normal wear and have no special collector appeal. However, for coins in uncirculated condition, values begin to rise. In lower mint state grades such as MS60 to MS63, prices can range from around $1 to $5, depending on seller and buyer interest. This might seem modest, but it's a significant markup from face value for what is essentially a coin still produced in huge numbers. The real premiums appear in higher grades. Coins graded MS64 or MS65 can command prices from approximately $10 to $25 or more. Those graded MS66, especially with full steps, can push past $100. Extremely high-grade specimens graded MS67 with full steps and exceptional eye appeal can command several $100s and occasionally approach or surpass the $400 mark at auction or in private sales. The reason these coins can demand such high premiums, despite the large mintage, is because as grades increase, the number of surviving coins in those conditions decreases drastically. It is much rarer to find a 2007D Jefferson nickel with flawless surfaces, sharp strike, and full luster than to find one in typical circulated condition. Collector interest in the 2007D nickel is influenced by several factors: certification. Coins that are professionally graded and authenticated by well-known services tend to sell for more and have more buyer confidence. Certification eliminates questions about authenticity and condition, making it easier to buy and sell. Strike quality. Some years and mint marks produce coins with weaker strikes, where details like the full steps are less pronounced. The 2007D is generally well struck, but certain coins may have strike weaknesses or slight die variations, which can affect value. Market trends. The coin collecting market fluctuates with economic conditions, hobbyist interest, and numismatic trends. Modern coins like the 2007D nickel can see surges in popularity as collectors focus on completing date and mint mark sets, or on collecting full-step specimens. Condition census. The number of coins recorded at high grades in population reports is low relative to mintage. This scarcity in condition makes the highest grade 2007D nickels more valuable. If you want to assess a 2007D Jefferson Nickels potential value, there are a few key steps to take. Visual inspection. Look at the reverse side of the coin, focusing on the steps of Monticello. If the horizontal steps at the base are clear, separated, and sharply defined, your coin might have full steps. Condition check. Look for wear signs on both sides. Are Jefferson's facial details sharp and clear? Is the luster, the shiny, reflective quality, still visible? Is the surface free of major scratches, dents, or discoloration? Compare with reference images. Use online resources or coin books to compare your coin to images of various grades and full steps examples. Seek professional grading. If you believe your coin is uncirculated and possibly has full steps, sending it to a trusted grading company could add tremendous value by certifying its grade. Consult experts or dealers. Show the coin to experienced collectors or coin dealers to get an initial assessment. While the 2007 Jefferson nickel is not rare by production numbers, it represents a fascinating area of modern numismatics where condition and quality can transform a common coin into a valuable collectible. In 2025, the market rewards those coins that maintain pristine condition and showcase full details, particularly the full steps reversed. So the next time you come across a 2007 nickel, don't dismiss it as just 5 cents. With careful examination and a bit of luck, it could be a small treasure with a worth far exceeding its face value. Thank you for watching this detailed examination of the 2007 Jefferson nickel. If you found this information useful, please like and subscribe for more coin deep dives. Drop your questions or experiences with nickels in the comments below. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp and your coins safe.